Fastest 15 minutes on the internet, fastest 15 minutes in social media. And my name is Judson Powell. I am the CEO of Kheprii Television, Kheprii TV. You can check us out by going to our website at Kheprii.com, or if you have the ROKU network, all you got to do is just add us to your Roku channel and your channel lineup, and it's all good. So thank you very much for that. Anyway, I want to talk about something that has, I guess, like, I don't know, it's like it's kind of permeating the situation right now, which is the great divide between black men and black women. And so I was really trying to stay out of it because for factual, I'm an old married man. So I've been married for a long time. Now, and I don't really understand a lot that's going on, but then again, by the same token, I'm still human, so I do understand a lot that's going on. So a lot of the stuff that especially on TikTok, a lot of the stuff we've been posting on TikTok has been about the sprinkle and the all of this stuff, the drizzle and all of this stuff, who's going to pay for who and why are people going to pay for everything, and all that kind of stuff. So I get it. So that I do get. But how and ever, there are some things that I don't get. And so I guess that I'm looking at it from the standpoint of how we looked at it from back in the day. And back in the day, you were either married, you were divorced, or whatever, but there weren't all these positions like now, because I laugh all the time, and I was like, man, y'all got too many positions. So, y'all got the side chick, the baby mama, y'all got, the work wife, it's all of these positions on your roster that you got that, see, we didn't have back then. Back then you had, even if you had a side wife, you could have a side wife. But back in the day, that was considered to be like, that was, you didn't talk about it. She didn't talk about it. He didn't talk about it. Any kids or anything like that were the result of it, they didn't talk about it, so it wasn't talked about. So, but as we move closer, so now, so I'm really captivated by this whole sprinkle thing, right? I'm captivated by the sprinkle because I'm like, because these dudes are like, okay, like what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put on my best stuff, right? And we gonna go out on a date, but this ain't gonna be the ordinary dates because I'm gonna show up. I'm gonna have on Gucci and Louis Vuitton and Balenciaga and all of that. I'm gonna have the finest of the finest. I'm gonna have on some $1,000 ounce cologne. I'm gonna have the everything going on. We gonna go to the date. Ain't look. No Cheesecake Factory, no Cheesecake Factory, no, in fact, no chain restaurants, period. These have to be pristine, Michelin, starred restaurants. Okay. So we're just setting up the picture. And so these men are saying, okay, so if I'm going out on a date, that costs money as well. So that's what, and so they're upset because a lot of the women on the other side, and I'm not taking sides because like I said, I'm too old. I'm not in this game. I'm just talking about it because I find it interesting. I'm not in the game. Okay. So, but as an outsider watching the game, who at one point was a young person and that was in the same pursuit, all of this to me, and let me throw somebody else in. I'm gonna throw Dr. Umar Johnson or Dr. Umar Infinde or whatever he's calling himself or whatever he calls himself, right? To make his hustle. To make his hustle go right, right? So, hey, I don't knock a man's hustle. Hustle how you get it. Hustle. Everybody's hustling. So I get that. here's my thing, okay? So if everybody is out here looking for love and marriage and all of this kind of stuff, and of course we all know that Dr. Umar is like, no snow bunnies, and all of this, no, you can't marry outside of your race. And so does that go, what I'm curious about is, does that go for all race? So everybody has to stay segregated according to race before they procreate. So I cannot procreate outside of my race, right? So I have to think about, like, okay, whatever, but that's not in the logical progression of things, because people end up liking who they like and loving who they love. And something that I found out later on in life, because at first, you're out there and you're letting your lower urges control what you say and what you do and all of that kind of stuff. It is not until you get to a certain point that you understand all of that stuff, which is why I go back to, like the whole thing with like arranged marriages and all that kind of, because when you're young and you're going through this sexual metamorphosis, your mind has not gone through a metamorphosis. So there's nothing, like, the two are not connected, except for the fact that, okay, she looked good, I want to get some, da 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 da, and then you break it down or whatever. And I'm not, I'm just going from my own experience. Okay, so I'm trying. So I'm curious about this. So how does this work? So now what they're trying to do, what these men are trying to do is, and let me throw the passport bros in there too, and all this. But here's my whole point. Everybody is looking for love and everybody's looking for marriage and stuff like that, but y'all not trying to communicate or trying to relate, to be relational to one another on that type of level. And let me tell you what I mean by that. You're not trying to hook up on the level. And remember, even when you start talking about the stuff like law of attraction or those type of different types of spiritual principles, if you are not sincere and you are not filled with love and that type of energy, that you're not going to attract that type of energy back. That's not going to be, you're looking for something that is fiction or a facade, something that does not actually really and truly exist. And so if you're looking for this facade and it doesn't really and truly exist, then what you're hooking up is not real. It just isn't. It's not real. And then once again, just like even and this is why I always keep going back to my roots in spirituality, is because you realize that balance and all of these other types of things come into play. And the other thing is, you can't learn. That's what the marriage thing is. Just, okay, so now we realize that we like each other, or we realize this, that, and the other thing, or we realize that we're compatible with each other, so that we hook up. But the marriage is a lifelong learning experience, because the person that you met, say you both 18, the two 18-year-olds that met and got married, by the time they're 38, they're not the same people. They have evolved and they have grown, and all kinds of stuff that have happened. But in my opinion, that is the mystery of marriage, because that's how you make marriages survive and last, in my opinion. Because you gotta like evolve and change and kind of grow and think about stuff, and even some of the stuff that you keep on messing up on is still, but in the back of your mind, it's still evolving and changing. So how do you get, how do you get from a point where you can't evolve to a point where you're married when you are arguing about the the rating of the restaurant that you're going to. I mean, come on, the rating of the what does that have to do with trying to build a home or build a life or procreation and having children and all of that kind of stuff? What does that have to do with any of that? It has nothing to do with it. And that's why I say it's a facade. It's fiction. It's fake. And the internet the internet, as much good as it does a lot of harm because this stuff is put into this microcosmic, thing, and it's like and people think that that's real life. Young people think that that's real life, and it's not real life. If you can see, here's the thing, and the reason why I go against all the interracial stuff and all that kind of stuff, and I know because I'm in on the now. My thought process is world peace, diversity, inclusion, all of the equity, all of those things. Those things are the things that need to be espoused and then processed and then made into reality. That's what needs to happen. Because I don't care. These are human, and they're not these are not racial things. That's the other thing. They use race is simply one of the divide and conquer tactics used by the colonizers and the people that want to keep you financially oppressed. So when you look at the divide and conquer, and so now what? So they're going to divide and conquer women from men, black men from black, and this is specifically, pretty much a black man, black woman issue as I've seen or whatever. And it's absolutely ridiculous because if you go into this thing expecting to be married to somebody for a long and indeterminate, period of time, and you expect it for this thing to last for the rest of your life, but you're still hung up on BS about, oh, I don't go to Cheesecake Factory, or you hung up on BS about, he didn't want to pay for the whole meal, or this, that, the other thing, or I don't go on coffee dates. That's another thing. I've been on tons of coffee dates with my wife, and coffee dates, or just to go get, go grab something and sit there and talk to each other. Is that is that something weird? Are we weird? Like we just like each other, sometimes you don't want them to be around, but then sometimes there are times where you just like, man, I want to talk to her, and, I just want her company right now. Right? But nobody, you can't be sincere and still be about the BS. You can't be duplicitous about this bull crap. If what you say, if you want what you say you want, then act like you want it. How you gonna manifest something that you don't believe? Because the first step of manifestation is what? That you gotta believe that it already freaking exists in the universe. That is already happening. That has already been put into motion for your well-being and for your good, period. Because that's what your heart, your soul, your spirit desires. But how you gonna get there when you got a BS mindset yourself? You want this dude? How you gonna ask somebody to do something that you would never reciprocate? You not even considering. That's another thing. Most of y'all not even considering reciprocation. So how is that supposed to last for like years and years and years and years? Because in my opinion, in my humble opinion, I don't think that it could. Because there's too much sacrifice and too much everything involved in trying to be married and trying to learn a person or learn how to love that person. Fastest 15 minutes is up. My name is Judson Powell. I'm the owner and CEO of Kheprii Television Network, or one of the owners. I'm not the whole owner. But anyway, I had to tell her, they like, "Are we on part of it too?" You know. Anyway, love y'all. Y'all stay out of trouble. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit all the buttons.